Welcome to Mythology Madness with Brad Scott. I am Brad Scott, aka Brad Scott Art, as opposed to Brad Scott the plumber, or lately Brad Scott the painter because I've been painting the house. So tonight I'm going to work on the mythology painting, but I did want to say, what's happening, Hell Candy? My work wife has joined us. Say hello to Hell Candy. Thank you for watching in the background, but make sure you pay attention in the class. So before I get to painting, I'm going to work on this tonight. But before I get to that, I want to talk about my upcoming comic. So I'm about to start a new comic book, and I've written out the script. This is the script for the comic. It's called Inside Out. It's actually called something else, but that's the name for this section. And I thought it might be cool to start doing another stream on actually how to make a comic book. So right now on Thursdays, I do Mythology Madness live painting. On Saturdays, I do Sketch Cards Saturday night, where I do comic and pop culture sketches from other people's stuff. So this is an original comic by me, and I thought it might be cool to show how I go from script to paper. And also, this is my concept art book for my studio, Brad Scott Studios Artist Sketchbook, and it's a layout that I did. This is actually the cover to one of our graphic novels from me, Brian Lusang, Cool, and Kimber. This is the cover on the back. But I use this to kind of develop my characters. This is actually going to be the protagonist, one of the antagonists. Here's some of the bad guy concept sketches. And here's the main protagonist. And what I did yesterday, I started working on the main character for this comic. Her name's Danielle. And I just started, putting together some sketches, and I finally came up with that look. That's kind of a look. That's kind of how she's gonna look. So I thought it might be cool to start a new stream on another night, focusing on the comics. So look forward to that coming out. But tonight, I'm doing a pop-up show for Mythology Madness, working on the painting of Ra. And tonight, the only thing I'm going to focus on is the face, the head. Maybe some other parts, but really, I just want to spend some time focusing on the head. I do have, so he has the head of a falcon, and I do have some reference. So, there's one reference picture. These are all falcons, to kind of give me some ideas. So there's another cool one. So I'm not going to copy any of these directly, but I do want to use them as a good reference piece to kind of capture the look I'm going for. So let's dive on in. So I've got the main tone, the main color, the local color. That's the word I was looking for. I've got the local color here, and then I've got a nice dark shade to kind of show the form. And then feathers are going to come out, and this is actually a gold collar over his shoulders and chest. So the next thing I'm going to do is come up. I'm going to take this color, which is burnt sienna, and maybe I think there's a little cat red in there. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to go with a really dark black, and I'm going to put in some really deep shadows, probably with a very. Am I going to use this brush? I don't know. Actually, I need to. No, yeah, I'm good. What does my palette look like? Here's my palette. It's a mess, but I love it because this is gouache. I can reactivate it with water, but I have my main colors, and then I can see, the different color values that I've come up with uh, while working on this piece. And so over here is where the head and face is. Over here, head and face. So I'm going to go with pale yellow. I'm sorry, I'm going to go with burnt sienna and some cat red with a little bit of black. And I'm going to just try to get something a little bit darker and really pull out some shapes. I don't know what it's going to look like. Um, but that's the fun part. If you don't like it, I don't have to use it. I can use something else. But I do know the colors I have are right. I just need to figure out the right mixture for it. Tommy Turtle, what's going on? How you doing? Working a little live painting for gouache tonight. Let me make sure I got my brushes that I'm going to use. This might be a good brush to use. This is a spotter. I might wind up using that one. I definitely have to go smaller. This is a number 8. That might be too big for what I want to do. That's too big for what I want to do. My trusty number 4, where I'm really dexterous with that puppy right there. I may wind up using that one, so I'll pull it out. And my spotter. And I use my filbert for mixing. That's mostly what I use the filbert for, but I use it for a few other things now and then. So I'm going to try to go with I'm pretty sure that's burnt sienna and cad red with a little, maybe a touch of black. I don't know, but I'm going to put a little bit more black in it. Actually, I don't even know if I need the burnt sienna. Maybe I just go with red and black, or do I cool it down? Wait a minute. I'm going to pull out my color wheel here. Maybe what I should have gone with, actually, yeah, I'm going to go with cad red and black and just see if that works for me. That may be all I need, actually. I'm definitely running out of space on my palette here. And I'm just going to add a touch of black, which doesn't take a lot of black to really influence the color there, to be honest. And that actually looks a lot like what I already have. That looks a lot like what I already have. So I'm going to have to go darker. And I still don't think that's dark enough. Hmm. Darker. Wow. I'm going deep, deep, deep. All right. So without going into black, this may have to work. And I'm going to go with this brush here. Is this the brush I wanted to use? That's not the brush I wanted to use. That's the brush I want to use. Just trying to prepare the right color here right now. And in the meantime, keep my brushes good. All right, here we go. I'm going with a pretty small brush. And I actually lost my tip. So I need to, there we go. All right. Hopefully my big head isn't in the way. Okay. That's darker. I can see the distinguishment between them. Um, I want to come under that chin just a tad bit. And I'm just going to bring this back just a little bit right there. Highlight that bottom lip. And then I'm going to pull a little bit around the beak. Actually, I'm going to dry brush this around the beak. So let me take some of that water out. All right, and I give it a little dry brush effect on there. Um, and now I really want to come in and highlight that eyeball. So there, this is a little lid over the eye. So I'm going to go deep on that one. Actually, should I get the camera a little bit closer since I'm only working on a small space? Or should I do that? Let's go in close today. Let's bring it in, people. Bring it in. There we go. I'll tilt that up just a little bit so that my big head isn't in the way. And that should give you all a little better look at what I'm working with there. All right. And then this, I want to put that right there. And then I want to bring this down just a little bit. And my goal is to try to give this some shape and volume. Okay. And I'm going to bring this down. I wasn't sure before, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and bring this all the way down. And then I'm going to kind of flare it out just a bit. Make sure my hand is dry while I'm resting it on my board here. When it comes down here, I'm going to flare it out just a bit. Okay. And then I want to dry brush this a little bit. So I'm going to get some more color on here. And I'm going to suck the water out of it. And I'm just going to try to dry brush it a little bit. Okay. All right, I like that. And then what I'm going to do is, I think that's all I want for that deep, dark color right there. So now what I want to do is this is pale yellow. I think I want to mix it with a little bit of red or a little bit of yeah, I'm trying to mix this with a little bit of red and see what that gets me to where I can start doing some shape. Because I know for the highlights, I'm going to go with the yellow, maybe with a touch of gold in it to give it some reflectivity to bring out the godliness of them. But I need that in between color. So right now, I have my darkest dark, and then I've got a step up, and then I've got my local color, but I need one more color for shadow, and then I'll work on highlights. So I'm gonna do a little experimentation because I don't know what color that's liable to be honest, because I haven't mixed it up yet. But I'm thinking pale yellow and red, just a touch of red. And I'm almost out of pale yellow. I might have to open up another tube. Hopefully I got enough to do the face. I know I don't. I need another tube. Give me just a second while I grab my new tubes. And I'm looking for pale yellow. So I love these Artesia 60 count. You get 60 at less than $1 a tube, and they come in real nice packaging. So let me see if I can find a pale yellow real quick. Oh, it looks like I've already dipped in here for something. All right, here it is. I got a new set. Looks like I've already pulled out something. I don't know what it was, but I've dipped in here already. But I've got a new pale yellow right there. So no worries. All right. So now I can feel free to use as much as I need to of the pale yellow. And it's almost a white. It's perfect. I love it. It's a beautiful color. And I'm gonna just add a touch of red to it, just a touch, and see what that. Actually, should I mix it with the burnt sienna? Although I mixed this with the red, so maybe I should stick with the red. I can try a little bit of both. I'll take the pale yellow, and I'll just add a dab of red to it and see what that gets me. That gets me a pink, actually. Gets me that color, which I don't like. Let me see if I add a little bit more red. I think I may have to add a touch of burnt sienna. Okay, that looks a little bit better. But I'm not sure if that's the color I already have. Let me see. That might be a good mid color. I think it's gonna work. So let's try it out. Actually, I'm gonna let it soak for a second while I work on this. And what I want to do is start trying to add volume. So I think right under the eye, I want this color. Actually, I don't know. Let me start under the beak, someplace where it won't be as critical if I don't like it. That looks a lot like this color here. So let me see if I add. Is that the same color I had before? It might be a little bit too dark. So let me add a little more pale yellow to it. It's all right so far, but not exactly what I wanted. All right. So now if this comes around this way, that's better. Yeah, I like that better. And I want to feather it out just a little bit. Yep, I like that. And then here, bring it up just a little bit. And then I want to bring it right up under the eye right there. That's too much. Too much. Okay, I like that. And toward the end of the eye, I can bring it out just a little bit more. And I think it'll work well right going over the muzzle of the beak. So coming up and over like that. And then I can take the water out and dry brush it in, give it some shape. And I'll bring this down just a little bit like that. I like it. I like it. Okay. And then right up under here, I want to get a little dry brush on that. And then right up in there, and for this part to in the brush, that. Okay. And then I'm going to blend this out a little bit this way. And what I'm doing after I put the paint on the brush, I have my little napkin here and I just dab some of that water out so that it's more, so it's a little bit thicker. As I try to feather it down. Okay. And I lost my edge right there, but that's okay. I can get that back. Um, after I finish with this color, I'll get my edge back right there. On this side of the neck here, and then on these feathers coming down, um, I want to create a little more interest. And I'm going a little bit thicker paint for this part here. Not too thick. Take some of that off. But a little bit thicker is okay. Because what I want to do is kind of create some larger shapes. Okay. And now right up in here, I want to bring this down just a little bit. Kind of rounding that neck off right around that area right there. And for that, I think I'm going to go a little bit thicker. Nothing crazy, but just a little bit thicker. And then I'm just going to create some feather-like structures like that. All right, that's looking good. So now I'm going to bring this line back and right up under the neck. I lost that. I'm going to bring that back. Where's the color I just mixed? Is that it? Or is that it? That's it. That was the wrong color. This is the color I just mixed. So I want to bring this line back just a little bit. And I want that line back. Okay. Now I'm going to use this to kind of dot, give them some falcon stripes. I don't know what you call them. And I'm going to dry brush it in just a little bit. Like that. And I want a little bit of those dots, but a little bit bigger right up in there. I can make these a little bit bigger. There we go. And maybe a dot there and there. All right. I'm digging that. I'm digging that. Now I'm going to come in with a really dark eyeball. Almost black, but I'm not going to use jet black. I'm actually going to, I'm going to take black with a little bit of blue. So I'm reactivating the blue that was on my palette, and I'm bringing in black. Although I just destroyed my blue now, so that wasn't smart because I don't have any place else to put my blue now. That was not smart, Brad. I just destroyed the spot that was supposed to be blue, and instead of taking the blue to the black area, I took the black to the blue area, and I messed it up. But that's okay. It happens. And now I'll grab my trusty number 4 for the eyeball. little bit too much water. The right angle on this is very important. Okay. I messed up my ridge line there, so I'll have to come back and fix that. But that's okay. I wanted that deep, dark black eye, which I get. And now I'm going to take the pale yellow. No, I'm going to take the pale yellow with some gold and see what they. I'm going to see what kind of color I can make with that. Yellow and gold. I need another mixing brush. Let me grab another filbert, and I need some gold. Rest of my pen. It's almost done. Bit of it out. So hopefully this gives me something. I don't know. I have to mix it. Let's see what. I don't know whether I'm mixing gold with pale yellow or pale yellow with gold. I don't know which came first, chicken or the egg. So I'm going to take a little bit of gold. Actually, I'm going to take a big scoop of gold and put it on to the side so I don't mess it up, just in case. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the pale yellow and mix it with the gold and see what that gets me. So this color isn't exactly what I'm looking for, but let me put a dab of yellow on it. Just a little bit. And I'm going to have to add more gold. And I don't know if this is going to get me what I want, but I want that gold metallic flake to be part of the highlight. So I'm going to put a dab of it. That's too thick. Okay. I'm going to put a dab of it on the beak. And I'm going to put some right up in there. Put some right around that area of the beak. Okay. I can, and one are under the eye, but dry a little bit. Let me dry it. I get a nice glob, and then I suck out the water. And then I just kind of dry brush it under there like that. And then I'm going to go right under there, but right under there as well. And then right around and this is the main light source here. So I'm going to catch it right up under there. And then that should be dry enough for me to catch the eye, right up under the eye. That's too thick. Suck out some of that water. That's too thin. I want to be able to do it hopefully in one stroke. Okay. And then I need to go back. Actually, no, that came out nice. That blended in nice. That came out nice. Maybe just a few speckles here and there on the feathers underneath the collar. Just a few highlights. And now I want to do something with the eyeball, and I'm going to use straight gold for that highlight in the eye. So I clean my brush up a little bit. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to use my spotter. Where's my spotter? Right here. I got my spotter, which ensures, and I forgot to plug up the phone, so pardon me for a second before this dies. There we go. That was close. But I got my spotter where I can put that little eyeball in there. And for that, I'm using straight gold. And I think it's just going to be a dot. It's not going to be like that human eye. I'm going to put it right toward the back. Right there. And I think that will be good for the face. Let's take a look. I think that's good. I love it. I absolutely love it. And that's really what I wanted to accomplish tonight. Here's my palette. It's a mess, but that's okay. I could work on the blue headdress, but when I do the blue at the same time, I want to do all of the bands and the ribbon off of his toga skirt, and I'm not ready to do that just yet. But if you got the headdress, armband, wristbands, ankle bands, and the tail of his sash, when I do the gold necklace, I'm going to do the gold here and the gold buckle and the gold tabs at the end of the headdress. I'm not ready to do that yet. I think the next section is going to be the body. And for the body, I'm using bronze as the metallic to show the highlight of the godliness. So I wanted to get the head done tonight. I got the head done tonight, less than an hour or about an hour. I don't know. I remember when I started. I'll figure it out once I hit stop. But, I think that came out really good. I'm happy with it. I hope you all enjoyed it. Just a quick pop-up show tonight. I might, it's after 9. I'm probably going to shut it down for tonight. I've got some sketching to do for some concept art, so I'm going to work on that. Thank you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun to do. One more close-up. And I think that came out really great. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace out.